of stormwater drains in Bengaluru. Last week, when rains wreaked havoc in the IT city, the entire city was flooded, and Mohammad Nalapads staged a protest against the government over the poor infrastructure. But now BBMP has listed him amongst 15 encroachers. The civic body has also carried out a demolition drive against these encroachers. The BBMP has now unleashed bulldozers in the illegal properties of Mohammad Nalapads as well. Bengaluru has faced unprecedented floods, and parts of the city were completely inundated with rainwater. One of the major reasons that made the flooding worse was the encroachment of the stormwater drains.
That is their claim that there is no nala in their property. As per their documents, there is no any beaker up. But our revenue department is confirming there is a nala as per village RS map.
So you're going to go ahead with the demolition now?
Definitely.
And how much how much area of this particular property will be demolished?
In this particular property, I think the length is almost 100 meters. 100 meters by 2.5 meters width demolition will be taken place.
And it's going to be happening now?
Yeah, right now. Right now we are starting and we are completing at any cost.
I don't know why it is going on, and they have not issued any notice earlier also, or they have not done any survey. Straight away after this water locked in, they have come here.
Okay.
And
have you spoken to Mr. Harris? So are you planning to move court or anything like that?
Right now nothing. Right now nothing. Just I wanted to stop this one. Now if there is anything like that, let them show us the proof. I am ready to demolish and give how much ever, but unnecessary they have demolished 10 feet like that.
While a war of words has erupted over this issue, and the BJP has vowed to take action against the accused irrespective of their political affiliations.
To take action against officials. Against officials, are you going to take action?
Yeah, 100%. Anybody, small, big, no. Demolition for the Bengaluru sake.
Sir, on
Bengaluru sake.
Action against officials.
Everybody.
कितना बड़े बड़े लोग हैं वो पूरा लिस्ट देना सबको, कौन एंक्रोच किया फाइंड आउट करके सबको क्लियर करेंगे. सरकार बड़ा और छोटा ऐसा डिवीजन मत करेंगे, पूरा करेंगे, साफ करेंगे. एक बार क्लियर हो जाएगा. आज का मामला नहीं है ये एंक्रोचमेंट. बीजेपी सत्ता में आने के बाद एंक्रोचमेंट किया, ऐसा है क्या?
And on the other hand, the Congress in fact has come out to say that it should be probed which government has given permissions for the construction, and for greed of few, public should not suffer.
Irrespective of whose name crops up, whose building it is, there are two things that needs to be done. One, if it is illegal, go ahead with the resolve that you claim to have. Number two, also find out how these people got permission. Who were the thing, under whose regime it happened, whether it was Congress regime or BJP regime. Who gave them the permissions? How come the officials are going scot-free for this? And why is it that for the greed of few officials, for the greed of the governments, the people of Bengaluru should suffer?
Let's take across to our guests who are joining us. With us is S. Prakash, spokesperson of the BJP in Karnataka. Also joining us is Ajesh Kumar Shankar, lawyer as well as political analyst. Ajesh Kumar Shankar, you know, the irony of this could not be more stark. Here you have politicians who have been protesting on the streets, you know, floating on the, flooded roads, so on and so forth. But the very same politicians are the ones responsible for blocking the natural flow of water, for encroaching upon stormwater drains. You know, it is a very, very serious issue, because for days we've seen people of the city suffer, whether it is, adults, young children, senior citizens. They've all had to go through such a harrowing time, and it is because of nothing more than the greed of these individuals whose properties are now in fact facing demolition.
May I reply? Hello?
Yes, Ajesh, we can hear you. Please go ahead. Please respond to that question.
Right. So the first of all, rainwater has to go through a stormwater drain, and if the stormwater drains are blocked, it will go on the road. Now, what I can't understand is how can the BBMP or the revenue authorities conduct this demolishing without issuing a notice to the people? The obvious inference is that the BBMP and the revenue authorities always knew about these illegal encroachments, and they kept a blind eye to it. Because if they have to follow the rule of law, they would have to give a notice, they would have to identify which is the encroachment, and thereafter give these persons a reasonable opportunity to give show cause. The fact that BBMP or the revenue authorities do it on their own, it means they knew about it and they're keeping quiet.
But how do we know, Mr. Ajesh Kumar Shankar, that these powerful people have not misused their positions of power? They are politicians at the end of the day. They could have perhaps used their positions to browbeat the BBMP.
Is the state government less powerful than these people who own buildings? The answer is no. The fact that they have started demolishing buildings of individuals, but they have given the corporate houses show cause notice is obviously for two reasons. That the individual owner's house is demolished without notice.
Okay.
Whereas the corporate houses have...
There are double standards. There are double standards here, S. Prakash. Why did your government not act before? Why are they acting now? That's a question coming from Ajesh Shankar. Please respond.
No, we saw record rainfall in Bangalore city last week. And we also witnessed how the IT corridor was inundated with the water. There was a huge cry over the illegal encroachment by high-end of IT. The water flow was restricted. Many have encroached upon the Rajakalways and lake beds and built their corporate offices and houses and commercial establishments. Now the government is going after them. Government BJP had made it very clear, those who have encroached upon the Rajakalways and the lake bed will not be issued any notice. We have this map with us, and based on that record, we are going to clear up all the encroachments, and the government is doing it. Now we start saying why notice was not issued, why the construction was allowed. Then should we wait for one more disaster to occur in IT corridor? Government is on right direction. They have Chief Minister on record has said nobody will be spared, and accordingly the action is going on. The state parties, the duplicity face of the Congress party is clearly exposed with the Nalapad properties illegally constructed and illegally encroached, and the building is constructed there. Now he was on street protesting against the flooding of Bangalore city roads. What has he got to answer about it? In fact, he should apologize to the people of Bangalore for misleading them instead of standing with the government and vacating the...
No, but the point is, Mr. S. Prakash, the point that many are raising is this, that if Mr. Nalapad, was seen protesting, the hypocrisy of the Congress is there for all to know. But the point is, why were these stormwater drains encroached upon? The BJP has been in power for over 3 years in Karnataka. You can put the blame at the doorstep of the Congress for sure, and certainly questions will be asked of them. But what has the BJP been doing? As the state government, is the BJP not responsible?
No, I want to
I'm not saying Congress is responsible. I'm not going to politicize the issue.
That the stormwater...
I'm not going to politicize the issue.
Conducting a survey.
For me, Bangalore image is paramount important. I don't want any politics in it. Now the government has identified the areas where the lands have been encroached upon. Now they are clearing it. Yes, in the past 3 years, we did not witness the kind of rainfall that the government, the BBMP officials were sleeping over it. There is a mistake on the part of the officials also, who allowed all this construction and looked the other way. And now they have been all caught napping, and now the people also know how they have hand in gloves with these illegal encroachers and the builders. I appeal to all those who have today suffered to take those builders to the court to demand with compensation.
No, but Ajay...
established that they are illegal encroachers.
No, but Ajesh, the point is that, fine, the government did not act, but these are responsible political leaders. These are people who are well-known faces of Bengaluru. From hospitals to big institutions, if they are nothing but encroachers of stormwater drains, then what kind of public service are these people engaged in?
No, my question to you is, in the background that somebody has encroached stormwater drain, how have you established who has encroached on what? That's my question. You are creating illegality over illegality.
So the BBMP's list is forged. That's what you're saying. They've issued a fake list, according to you. Is that your allegation?
I don't know. I don't know whether...
No, you don't know, or you're saying it's fake.
How can you make a false...
No, if you're not sure, then don't make an unreasonable allegation, sir. Are you sure that this is fake?
I am asking you, have you followed your due process before establishing which stormwater drain has been encroached upon.
That's for the BBMP to answer. That's for the BBMP to answer. All right, S. Prakash, has there been a due process before establishing which drain was properly encroached upon or not? Has there been a due process?
The due process means the government land has been encroached and the BBMP has the records to justify it. And it was clearly announced in the media that we will go after all those illegal encroachments. We will not issue any notices to clear the encroachment. We will demolish it. And the BBMP is just doing it. If the person who is holding that land, who believes it is illegal and he is only the owner of it, let them produce the document to justify his ownership. The Rajkalwe documents are with the BBMP. Based upon it, they are acting upon. If somebody has got an objection to it, let them give the evidence. If the respected lawyer if he says it is illegal demolition, let him produce the document to justify that it is illegally or demolishing.
So what is Section 229 of the BBMP Act? 229 of the BBMP Act, which is passed by this government, mandates that you have to issue a notice to an encroacher. Please
so, Mr. Ajesh Shankar, if there's violation of law, surely you can haul them up over coals in a court. In a court of law, you're a lawyer yourself. My simple question is this. Is it, can citizens of Bangalore for over 2 decades have seen flood after flood? Can they just afford to be innocent bystanders now? Isn't it time for drastic action, Mr. Ajesh Shankar? We are just allowing the netas, we are allowing the babus, we are allowing the builders to run riot in the city of Bangalore. We all know what kind of actions have been taken by property developers. Why should immediate action not be taken, no matter how powerful the individuals are, Ajesh Shankar? Isn't it time for urgent measures?
No, we are representing public in public interest litigation for encroachment. But the law says, please issue a show cause notice. The law says, give them an opportunity to explain. Now, I'm only requesting the government, sir, please follow due process. Remove that encroachment in accordance with law. What is wrong in that?
Okay. We have some breaking news coming. One second. We have some breaking news coming. We're told that N.A. Harris has responded and he says that there was no notice sent before this demolition. There is no prior notice sent before this demolition. All right. S. Prakash, now we have N.A. Harris himself coming on record saying that a portion of the compound wall was broken. They will talk to concerned authorities and that there was no notice given at all in this particular case. So the allegation that Mr. Ajesh is making of illegality, that's the allegation that is being made by him. That appears to be echoed by N.A. Harris as well. S. Prakash.
Illegally encroaching upon the government land. They did not. They just encroached upon the government land and built their buildings and roads they constructed. Compound was well erected. Did they take the permission of the BBMP then for that? Did they give any document to justify that the Rajkalwe is their own property and they have every right to illegally occupy it? They are giving notice. The BBMP is very clear. We will not issue any notice to them. Giving notice, then these people go to the court, bring stay order, drag the case, hold on to it. Then public memory is so short. Once this rain recedes, they forget about it. Then they continue to occupy the illegal encroachment. Now the government is very serious about this illegal encroachment. Let them go to the court. If they have any issue, their courts are there to address their grievances, not on the channels.
I'm asking you a question, Mr. Prakash. How do you establish something is illegal? Before you call something illegal, how do you establish the portion of the land you are illegally occupied is your property similarly? In law, you should have documents to justify that land belongs to you. Justify your act. Please read your law. You don't tell me the acts. My simple question, if you have the document to justify it belongs to you, just prove it, go to the court, produce the document, take this share. So you will demolish the building of a person and then tell them to repair the building. It is happening for the last 3 days. What are you doing? Replace the building at your cost. No, fuck you justify it. I'm asking you, if you demolish a building...
All right. Ajesh Shankar as well as S. Prakash, we'll have to leave it there for the moment. Clearly,